I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Here, let's figure this one out. I doubt this guy really knows the secret to the algorithm, considering this guy we did this video 7 days ago, and this video only got 47,000 views. I don't think he really hit the algorithm too hard. But let's see what he says here. Do this, and YouTube can't ignore you. Let's see.
66% of small channels think that the YouTube algorithm treats them unfairly, and that's concerning. So I found the guy who's basically in charge of all of this stuff at YouTube. And in this video, we're going to reveal 6 tips on how the algorithm actually works, so that it takes your channel from looking like this to something more like this. But first, we need to show you who this algorithm guy is.
His name is Todd, and he is the product lead for the homepage and recommendations at YouTube, and has been working there for over a decade. He likely knows more about the YouTube algorithm than anyone else on the planet, and he's happy to share his thoughts with the public, which is fantastic.
So in this video, he's going to share quite a lot of interesting stuff, like how you can use a simple title and thumbnail hack to revive any dead video, to new packaging strategies that can boost your click-through rate, and towards the end, he'll even share why click-through rate and watch time might not be as important as you might think. But first, we need to debunk that myth that many of you believe to be true. The YouTube algorithm isn't against you.
We don't have creator objectives in our recommendation system. Like, we're not trying to get creators to upload more often, serve one creator segment over another. It's creator agnostic. Give the viewers what they want, and by doing that, you create the most opportunities for creators, and those creators compete fairly for those opportunities.
Except they don't, because the algorithm is promoting things that are considered on a trend or virally popular. So what ends up happening is you have people going to the lowest common denominator of scams, deceit, harmful content, and that's what gets pushed to the forefront of YouTube. Why is it that everyone who makes toxic, hateful content gets to the top, and people who are making the regular content get shoved under? That doesn't make any sense at all, right? Your algorithm is taking in, basically, how can I say? You have humans making videos, correct? These are not, it's not a robot making the video, it's a human making a YouTube video, correct? There are some AI videos, but for the most part, it's humans making videos. Therefore, if you're creating an algorithm, it has to have human factors and judgments. It could be incredibly harmful to others. It could be deceptive and lying and cheating. That's how humans are. So to have an algorithm that's agnostic doesn't fucking work. You idiot. That guy, the moment that guy said to me, if I was interviewing him, I'd be like, do you have no fucking level of intelligence in your head? Do you not understand that humans are agnostic towards each other? That they literally step on each other to get ahead constantly? So why would you have an algorithm that's agnostic that everyone can game? You fucking buffoon. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard what that guy just said. Literally, that guy is a dunce. The guy in charge of the algorithm is a dunce. He thinks having an agnostic algorithm works. No, it doesn't. You have to adjust for human input, for human deception, for all these fucked up things that humans do to get ahead. What a moron. And this is the guy in charge of YouTube's algorithms. Gee, I wonder why the same people are always on the front page, why the most harmful content is on top. That's why. Because the people who run YouTube are fucking idiots.
This means that the YouTube algorithm doesn't have any preconceived agenda that is for or against small channels or big channels. What it cares much more about is whether the video satisfies an audience, the viewer. So this is good news for small channels. It does mean that you can compete with large channels.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. It means you can't compete with large channels. That's what it means, because it's agnostic and the large channels are already big and they're already using the tactics to stay on top. It means the small channel will never be recognized. That's what it means by being agnostic in an algorithm. It's awful. It shouldn't be like that at all.
On YouTube. And that's why you, as a viewer, will often see on your homepage a video that has only a couple of hundred views that was released a couple of days ago from a small channel. So let's move on to the more relevant question. How can you make sure that your videos satisfy the viewers more than your competition? Well, Todd did share one tip that not enough creators are taking advantage of.
In terms of seeing what does well, I highly recommend that creators spend some time in the audience tab where they can find other videos their audience is watching this week. They don't.
Yeah, but the problem is, a lot of people watch detractor shit. So when I look at that, it just says, oh, detractor videos. So it doesn't help me at all. I don't care about detractor content. I don't want to look at detractor content, right? Why does the algorithm favor it? Because your algorithm is agnostic. If your algorithm was smart, it would say, wait a minute, there's all these toxic defamatory videos. We don't want those factored in. We want positive content that ads should be running on, that are promoting good behavior by humans, not, oh, just money-making behaviors. That's why the algorithm doesn't fucking work. That's why YouTube is toxic.
I have to just look at like what Mr. Beast is doing, because
I'm not kidding. If I look at that, it just shows me all detractor content. That's all it says. Because who's jumping into my content, watching it like that? The detractors. Oh, they come over, they flood the stream, and they fucking say negative shit in the chat and dumb shit. I can't find out what my actual positive viewers want because their algorithm doesn't fucking work. So 2 things this guy who's in charge of the algorithm has said so far that actually are completely fucked up. Okay? Title and thumbnail. Let's find this out.
And if so, how? And the answer lies in the packaging, the title and thumbnail.
one question that creators often ask, if they change a thumbnail or update the title, does that trigger the algorithm to kind of test the video more? The answer is that we don't. And part of that is because if you could get kind of favorable treatment just by swapping some metadata, creators would just do that all the time so they could just get as much as they could. But the other reason is we actually found that we don't need to. If the thumbnail or title change actually has a difference, we've seen that pick up within like seconds of the change happening. When you see those jumps coming from a change of a title or thumbnail, those are all coming from audience reactions, and there's no...
So basically, the algorithm is also lazy. It doesn't ever reevaluate anything. It gives you one shot to be evaluated, and then after that, it just leaves you alone forever. So either your video immediately gets noticed or will never get noticed ever again, unless it's already from your existing audience. So that's 3 things that are awful about this stuff. I mean, this is... everything he said is awful. 3 bad things in a row. Can we continue? Can you get worse? Let's find out. What's the next one? 3 awful things from this fucking guy who's in charge of the algorithm
As well. But what Todd talks about next takes packaging to a whole new level, because it's no longer enough just to think about the title and the thumbnail. There's now a 3rd factor to think about that could increase or decrease that initial click.
Now we're in a world where on mobile, the thumbnail only shows for like half a second to a second while you're scrolling on the homepage. And then we found that people really liked being able to just like see what the video is about. Now the person's decision is based in large part on what they deliver in the intro and what they deliver in the intro when there's no sound. And how much time do you think most creators are looking at that through the eyes of the viewer?
My God, that's useful. Okay, that's completely 100% useful. I agree. If you preview the video by having it like move to a certain way on the app, it'll start auto playing but with no sound, so you'll see the intro of the video. All right, that one's useful. Of course, for me, like gameplay, how can I make that better? I can't. There's nothing I can really do there. For other styles of video, maybe, perhaps. I'm not sure. I don't know what I could really do to make the intro of my video more appealable. Like, to me, that makes sense for like someone who's doing a review or something, show something catchy at the very beginning. Or someone like me who's doing a podcast show or doing a gameplay video, there's nothing I can really change about the early part of my video to make more attractive. So that, sadly, even though that one actually is helpful, it doesn't really help me because my content's a little different.
Now, getting people to click is just half of the algorithm story. If you want to get truly noticed, then Todd suggests this.
We want to enable creators to deliver great value to audiences. And the way that they do that is by doing 2 things: getting the users to click and getting them to watch the video. There is a danger by focusing too much on solely clicks that creators could create thumbnails that attract audiences that are not actually interested in watching the whole video and abandon the video early. And that's not good for the creator, it's not good for the viewer, it's not good for YouTube. And so we want to focus creators on delivering the entire value.
So yes, it is possible to have a phenomenal click-through rate and still have your video perform terribly. The algorithm...
And the sad fact is, with gameplay like I do, I never get a high percentile. Why? A lot of people, when they watch a gameplay video, they'll click play, they'll see what the beginning is, and if it interests them, great, and if not, they always fast forward. They're always fast forwarding to the part of the gameplay video that they like. When I used to make shorter gameplay videos, my actual watch time and engagement rate was better because it's a shorter video. So you have a higher chance to just watch the 10-minute video than if you have a 30-minute gameplay video and you're going to probably fast forward more. So actually, when I increased the length of my videos, which is what my viewers wanted, it actually hurt my channel. It hurt the channel because now people are more apt to just fast forward through, and that kills that engagement rate. You know, and there's nothing I can do about that. What I would say is, for the podcast, at least with the podcast, we're getting timestamps on the podcast in the morning. And even this video too, like usually these React videos, I get timestamps in the description. So at least people can skip to the part they want to watch and then listen, which is great. But with gameplay, there's not much you can really do. Again, these algorithms were not designed in mind for everyone. The things he's describing in the algorithm work for certain types of videos, but not for all types of videos. They made an algorithm that literally, because it's automated, because there's no human attachment to it or human factors to it. It can be gamed, it can be abused, it can be used to get what makes you popular. And anyone who genuinely isn't trying to game the system and just wants to put out content that they feel is useful or valid or positive, they get shoved right under the rug. This is a gameable system because the people who run it don't fucking have a brain in their head thinking business. They just think, oh, tech know-how, tech know-how. It's being street smart versus being book smart. The people who work at YouTube are incredibly book smart and have no fucking street smarts whatsoever. They don't know what it's actually like to be out there as a YouTuber trying to make a living.
Phil here. The only detractor channel that I watch is Doody Streams.